pleasure to be here, talk about Reyna silver. I will be making forward-looking statements. That's what I do. We do our best to turn forward-looking statements into history, but again, past performance is not necessarily a guarantee, so please do your due diligence before you get involved with Reyna or, for that any other company in our business. Reyna silver is focused in Mexico because that's where you want to be if you're focused on silver. Mexico, worldwide historic silver production through all of human history is about 48 billion ounces of silver. A quarter of that has come from Mexico, so it's obviously very well endowed. From my perspective, more importantly, is that worldwide there are 16 camps that have produced over 1 billion ounces of silver, and 8 of those are in Mexico. So it's not just where to be for silver, it's where to be for big silver, and it's typically where to be for big, high-grade silver, and grade is king. About half of Mexico's silver has come from carbonate replacement deposits called CRDs. People didn't really know what these were until a couple of years ago when South 32 bought Arizona Mining for $1.5 billion, and now everybody wants one. I've been working on these deposits for about 40 years, and there's a couple of reasons why you want to look for these things. They're big, 10 to 150 million tons. The grades are high, 5 to 50 ounces silver plus a very strong lead, zinc, and sometimes copper and gold credit involved. Mining costs tend to be low. They're metallurgically docile, so you can get the values out when you find them. And increasingly important these days, these things have a minimal environmental footprint. So here's the belt of CRDs in Mexico. The big deposits are the magenta, bright blocks there. The smaller deposits are the pink blocks. Eulalia district in Chihuahua. It's the reason Chihuahua City is where it is the buckle on the CRD belt, and that's where Reyna's flagship property is. Eulalia district, we have the southern end of the district, which is probably where the known part of the district came from. Continuous production from 1703 to the present produced better than 50 million tons of ore at 10 ounces silver and 15% combined in lead and zinc. So that's more than 500 million ounces of silver produced from this district. This is the largest manto and chimney system known in Mexico, but half of the district is missing. When we look at the carbonate replacement deposit exploration model that we've developed, we know that these are related to an intrusive center, and that these intrusive centers typically have very large high-grade skarns associated with them, and this has never been found at Eulalia. So the 50 million tons or 500 million ounces of silver has come from this portion of the district, and this is what we're looking for, the other half. This is where they get big, the tons go up, and the mining costs go down. This is a slightly out of focus view of the west camp of the district, showing the chimneys, which are vertical pipes of mineralization, and the mantos, which are like ribbons or linguini of massive sulfide high-grade stuff, all related to these ore-related intrusions. And there's a whole series of geologic and isotopic geometric arguments that indicate that the source of the system comes from somewhere down here to the south. And interestingly, this is the deepest part of the historic production, and in this area we started to see 1 to 3 grams of gold. So we may actually be looking at a system that is zoning not only towards larger size, but a nice gold credit on top of everything else. Looking at things in plan, here's our claim package, which is shown in blue and orange, and we've just picked up a piece over here as well. There's 2 parts of the district, the west camp and the east camp. Source of the east camp in this direction, source of the west camp here. This is the one we're focusing on because this is the big part of the district. There's been some work done in this property over the last 20 years. These represent the drill holes that have gone in. Most of the work has been focused on the southern end of the east camp, but it's the west camp that we're focusing on with Reyna for a number of reasons I'll explain here. This area basically has 1 drill hole that goes into what we consider the target area. That hit what it was looking for, but it did not actually get to target depth. So this is the area we're doing more exploration because this is where we believe the big target lies. And we have a lot to work with. This property and Reyna's other property, the Pilas district, came to Reyna from Mag Silver. And these are effectively victims of Mag's success. Mag was so successful at Juanicipio and Cinco de Mayo that the board of directors told us these properties need to be in other hands. Mag doesn't have the bandwidth for them, so they're being sold to Reyna Silver. Mag is retaining a 20% interest in the properties, and they're allowing me to help move this forward because I'm the one who generated these projects in the first place. So Mag's work effectively stopped in the district in 2008 after having done some very sophisticated satellite image analysis showing some very attractive alteration patterns that have not been followed up on. And more importantly, a detailed ZTAM and aeromagnetic survey, which reveals some very strong anomalies, these north-south and northeast trending anomalies that are very prominent. These are directions that are well known to be associated with mineralization in the district. None of these anomalies has ever been drilled. So what do we do from here? We're going to combine the geophysics and imagery. We're going to surface map over the areas where we see all of these anomalies coming together. We actually kicked that project off this last week. We'll do some additional geophysics if that seems indicated. We'll permit it, and we expect to be drilling by the end of the year. Reyna also has a property in the Pilas Silver District. This is essentially all of the Pilas Silver District. This is a former producer, produced 300 million ounces of silver from ore bodies which were effectively crystalline wires of native silver. So think of a Brillo pad made of wire silver that is anywhere from 1 to 2 meters wide, 30 to 100 meters on strike, and up to 350 meters down plunge. These bodies are effectively infinite conductors. We believe these should be very effectively explorable with modern electrical geophysical techniques. So this is why you invest in Reyna Silver. We have what is humbly called world-class technical expertise. They're touting me as that. I've had significant silver success working in Mexico over the last 30 years. We also have Doug Kerwin, former VP of exploration for Ivanhoe, led the discovery of Oyu Tolgoi. So we're talking about guys with some pretty serious experience. Plus, we have the team of Mexican geologists that we've developed over the last 20 years, working for Mag Silver, Pan American, Exelon Resources, et cetera. They'll be the guys actually implementing the program. We have good technical markets expertise. The board of directors includes Peter Jones, former CEO of Hudbay. A lot of strong capital markets expertise. I mean, one thing I have to point out is that Jorge Ramiro, who is the president and CEO of the company, has been able to raise $5 million in the last 6 months in one of the worst markets for raising money that you can imagine. That tells you something about the quality of the connections that he has and the ability to bring capital markets expertise to the table. We've got 2 great assets, both of them very silver dominant, Gigi, which I just talked to you about, and Pilas, a major historic producer in Mexico's most prolific, or at least Mexico's highest grade silver district. From 1880 to 1913, when the mine was shut down by the Mexican Revolution, the average grade was 2% silver. So coming back to the theme I started with, district scale plays, high grade. High enough grade to make money under almost any market conditions, which means you can sleep at night when times are bad and when times are good. You can party all night, which is, I think, what Greg is telling us we're looking forward to here in the relatively near future. With that, I thank you very much for your attention. Encourage you to come out and talk to us at the booth and in the question session afterwards. Thank you.